play something in the
All right.
meantime.
All right, we on.
Are you guys ready now? We want
Yep.
tour. Okay.
Hey, Khan. Shalom, shalom. All praise to y'all watching me outside, man. I said Jerome's in the house. Watch your mouth. You know what I'm saying? The name of this lesson is called Watch Your Mouth. All right? Plenty of people have been put to death for talking reckless, whether it be up in the world or whether it be up in the scriptures. So it's real important to watch the things that we say, right? Grab Matthew chapter 12 and verse 34.
This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 34. O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things?
If you're evil, right, you're going to speak evil things. You are what comes out of your mouth most of the time. Read that again.
O generation of vipers, how can ye, being evil, speak good things?
How can you, being evil, speak good things? Right? It doesn't match. Keep reading.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
So out of your mind, right, out of your heart speaks the mouth, right? You're acting in the manner that you're speaking in, right? If you saying that, like you know, when you watch TV, little Billy Bob, the Edomite kid, he's saying, "I hate you, Mom," right? "I hate you, Dad. I hope you die." He mean that. Read that first verse again.
O generation of vipers,
right?
How can ye, being evil, speak good things?
How can you, being evil, speak good things? Right? You got to always check your spirit and examine yourself, right? Whether you're evil or whether you're of the Most High. Keep reading.
For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh.
Right?
A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things.
Read that again.
A good man out of the good treasure of the heart bringeth forth good things.
Out of the good treasure of the mind, the man speaketh good things, man. If you're good in your spirit, your speech is going to be of all good things, according to the Most High God, according to Christ. This is Christ's words, right? We have to watch our mouth in these last days, right? Keep reading.
And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
And little Billy Bob, right, that's wishing death on his parents, he's speaking from the evilness of his heart, man, because he is evil. Read that again.
And an evil man out of the evil treasure bringeth forth evil things.
You're going to bring forth evil things if your spirit is not in check. We have to watch our mouths and check our spirits in these last days, because our salvation is nearer than when we believe, and we will hate to be held to one saying that you may have said out of spite, right? And kind of being out of your body during that time. Right? Keep reading.
But I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give an account thereof in the day of judgment.
In the day of judgment, you're going to have to give account to everything that you done said. You have to keep a tight seal on your lips sometimes. That's very important. A lot of men have been put to death for their sayings. Keep reading.
For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words shalt thou be condemned.
So according to your speech, that's what you're going to get, man. Right? You kind of reap what you sow when it comes to your mouth. Right? Get the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 30. Right? Let's see some of these things playing out. By your words you shall be justified, and by your words you shall be condemned. Right? 30 and verse 1.
This is Genesis chapter 30 and verse number 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister.
Now, there was a little bit of jealousy, man, between Rachel and Leah. There was jealousy, right? And there was envy that was going on. Those are evil spirits, man. Envy is an evil spirit. You have to watch your mouth. Keep reading.
And said unto Jacob, give me children. or else I die.
She said, what?
Give me children, or else I die.
Keep a tight seal on your lips, man. She said, give me children unless you die. Unless you die. That's a heavy thing to say. Right? And we know basically the end of that story. Rachel did die. Jacob was not able to enjoy his fullness with the wife that he wanted, man, because she did not keep a tight seal on her mouth. Is one that
and Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel,
right?
And he said, "Am I in God's stead?"
He said, "Man, am I God? What am I supposed to do? I'm doing my job, right? I'm doing my thing." Read.
Who hath withheld from thee the fruit of the womb?
Did I withhold the fruit of the womb from you? No. Who's done it? The Most High God did it. Read.
And she said, Behold, my maid by law, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
She went and she offered Bilhah as to have children, through Jacob, man. Right? But there was nothing that Jacob could do about it. And the crazy thing is that she thinks that she's talking to Jacob, but you're really talking to the Most High in a lot of these cases, man. Right? You're talking to the Most High in a lot of these cases. You may think that you're talking to a brother or to a sister or to your husband or to your wife, but you're really talking to the Most High. It's important to keep a tight seal on your lips, right? Watch your mouth, all right? We know how the story ended. She did end up dying after she gave birth, right, to her children. Let me right? Go to the book of Numbers, chapter 16. Numbers chapter 16, and just start at 1.
This is Numbers chapter 16 and verse number 1.
Right.
Now Korah, the son of Izhar, the son of Kahat, the son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, and the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Peleth,
right,
sons of Reuben, took men.
They did what?
Took men.
Now, these specific men, they were famous, right, up in Egypt, right, during the time of the captivity, right? These were famous men in their captivity, and they went and took men. They gathered men, right, to go against Moses. Can you read it?
And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly.
Now, when you have pride on you, your lips kind of it kind of gets wild, man. You feel like nothing can happen to you. These are famous men, right? And they gathered up 250 men to rise up against Moses, a man who, by the Most High God, delivered them out of captivity, right? Keep reading.
Famous in the congregation,
right?
Men of renown. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore, then lift ye up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
See, they're talking to Moses kind of spicy, man. They like, man, we all holy. Why do you lift yourself up above the congregation? Right? Watch your mouth. They don't even know that they're talking to the Most High, because the Most High was speaking to Moses face to face, mouth to mouth, man. Moses didn't need no similitudes. The Lord literally was speaking to Moses. Right? Keep reading.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company,
right,
saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his.
Now, it says that Moses fell to his face. Moses was real humble. And still, he went about it a humble way, saying that we can see tomorrow whether the Lord be with me or not. right? Or who the Lord is dealing with in this situation. Keep reading.
And who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him.
Right.
Even him whom he hath chosen will he choose to come near unto him.
Jump to verse 13.
Verse number 13.
Go to 12, rather.
Verse 12. And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, we will not come up.
Hey, man. They like, man, we not coming up. Right? This is where the watch your mouth and who are you talking to comes in at. Because you don't know who you're talking to. When you talking to the servants of the Lord, you're really talking to the Most High. Right? We just had a crazy camp this past Friday and Saturday, man. Right? Or Saturday, rather. Right? Both was fire camps, but Saturday was crazy. Man, dealing with the sodomites, man. And they want to flick us off because we're reading the words of the Most High God. Cap said, hey, you're not flicking us off, you flicking the Lord off. And that's really what it is. All right? You really are flicking the Lord off. You being disrespectful, not to us, but to the Most High. You're not saying F us to us. You saying F you to the Most High. Consider your words. Watch your mouth. Right? Keep reading.
Is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey?
Out of the what?
Out of the land that floweth with milk and honey.
Now, these words, now Moses had the option to stay with the power that he had up in Egypt, but he rather chose to suffer with his people. Now, these men are saying, is it a small thing that thou hast brought us up from the land of milk and honey? They talking about Egypt, saying that Egypt is the land that flowed with milk and honey. How dare you? You disrespectful bastards, man. All right? I gave up everything that I knew to save my people, and you kind of talking spicy like that. Watch your mouth. Keep reading.
To kill us in the wilderness.
You see, to kill us in the wilderness, you got saved from getting your back beat in, right? From rigorous labor. Literally, you got saved from that, but you worried about getting killed in the wilderness. Like we're out of captivity. And be careful, Israel, because that's how some people are gonna talk. Like y'all gonna kind of talk to your Yahushua like that up in the wilderness, and he gonna say off with your head, man. It's gonna be some people that speak like that. It's hard to say, right? But some might just get saved and go up on them chariots, probably just to get smitten by Yahushua, right? You will not taste of death until the Son of Man cometh, just to be made an example, just to get purged in that wilderness, man. Watch your mouth. Keep a tight seal on your lips. Right, keep reading.
Except thou make thyself altogether a prince over us.
See? And they jealous, man. Because Moses was a great leader. Right? They saying, is it a light thing for you to take us out of the beautiful captivity that we were in? Just to kill us in the wilderness, and now you want to make yourself a prince over us? Get that pride out of your mouth, for one, because the Lord is using me. But Moses, he had a tight seal on his lips, and he didn't speak in that manner. He could have, because he did a lot through the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. The Lord chose him. Now, who are these people to usurp Moses' authority, man? They were just mere captives, man. Now you gathered up enough courage after you 250 people deep to come and approach Moses in the manner that you did. Don't be ungrateful. Watch your mouth in these last days. Right? Keep reading.
Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that floweth with milk and honey, or given us inheritance of fields and vineyards.
He said, you didn't give us none of the stuff that was promised. You didn't give us no money. We was doing good up in captivity, man. We had the melons, we had the onions, man. right? We had the fields. We had little fields up in there. Now we don't got nothing. We in the wilderness. You ungrateful. And an ungrateful tongue will get you killed, man. Keep reading.
Wilt thou put out of the eyes of these people? We will not come up.
See, they steady telling Moses, we will not come up. Keep reading.
And Moses was very wroth.
And he was what?
And Moses was very wroth.
And rightfully so, man. Because you're trying to usurp the authority of Moses, man. Keep reading.
And said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering.
He said what?
Respect not thou their offering.
So they were set up, man. Maybe they would have had a little bit of mercy from Moses, right? But they took all them incense, took all them censers, right? Put their offering up in it. They making fire, and Moses said, hey, Lord, don't accept their offering. Don't accept their incenses, man. Keep reading.
I have not taken one ass from them.
I didn't take nothing from them. I didn't ask for no money. I didn't pass around no collection plate. I didn't do nothing to them. Read.
Neither have I hurt one of them.
I've been tender and delicate towards my people. But they return evil unto me for the good that I've done for them in the name of you, man. See? And Moses was meek above all people up in the earth, man. He was meek. He was a very meek man. Right? Humble. But there comes a time where the meek, they get angry too. The humble, they get angry also. Read.
And Moses said unto Korah, be thou in all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow.
And so he said, bet it up, right? Y'all coming outside. So be ready tomorrow, right? Jump to verse 19.
Verse number 19. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation.
Right.
And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
See, and the Lord appeared unto them. The glory of the Lord appeared unto them up in the congregation, right? You might as well say there was a chariot that showed up, man. Right? The sky might have cracked. I don't know what it looks like for the glory of the Lord to appear unto all men, but that sky might have cracked just a little bit, man. Read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
See? And the Lord is pissed off right along with Moses. Right? Get away from them. I'm finna smiteth thou. All right? I'm finna smite them up, man. I'm gonna consume them all together. Right? Keep reading.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation?
See, because the Lord is like, hey, you know, is all y'all feeling like that? Are all of y'all secretly having these feelings against Moses, my servant? Keep reading.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
Right.
And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
He said, arise and depart from these wicked men. Right? Arise and depart away from these wicked men. Don't have nothing to do with them. Right? Somebody else's words can get you caught up, man. Right? Keep reading.
So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works.
Now, let's focus on one part, right? Grab the book of Sirach, chapter 8, right? And verse, let me see. Verse 16.
This is Iraq, chapter 8, and verse number 16.
Now go to 15. Right? Because the Lord told them to arise and depart away from these wicked men, man. Right? And told Moses to tell them to do that. Another person's mouth can really get you in trouble, man. All right? Read that.
This is Iraq, chapter 8, and verse 15. Travel not by the way with a bold fellow.
With the what?
With a bold fellow.
See, because Korah and them, right, and Dathan and Abiram, right, they were all bold fellows. They were famous. So they felt as though that they could be bold like that. But their boldness gets them killed. Read.
Travel not by the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto thee.
And he might have been grievous unto those 250 men, right? Because we're going to see what happened to them, man. Right? Keep reading.
For he will do according to his own will, and thou shalt perish with him through his folly.
And shall what?
And thou shalt perish with him through his folly.
And thou shalt perish with him. Another person's words can get you caught up. Watch your mouth, or you may put your brothers at risk, man. Right? Or your family at risk. It's important to keep a tight seal on your mouth, Israel. Right? Let's go right back to Numbers chapter 16, right where we left off at.
This is Numbers chapter 16 and verse 28. And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works.
Right.
For I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me.
See, because the Lord said early on that he was going to consume them, right? So Moses already knew what was up, right? And the rest of the congregation should have known what was up too. The glory of the Lord appeared over all the congregation. And these men were so puffed up in their pride that they couldn't even repent for it. There's no account of them apologizing, right? There's no account of that. So they had to be puffed up in their pride. But it says that, and Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind, man. He didn't do it of his own accord, of his own will. He was doing the will of the Father. So when you talking to a person that's doing the will of the Most High God, you're talking to the Most High God. Watch your mouth, right? Keep reading.
But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
Yeah, you're going to understand then that these men that was talking crazy to the Most High God, you provoke the Lord when you talk crazy, man. And you're subject to the punishment of that comes to you when you speak out of your mouth wickedness and folly. Right? Go to verse 32.
Verse 32.
Actually, go to 31.
Verse 31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder.
It opened up, read.
That was under them.
Right?
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up.
Hey, they kind of fell down into the mouth of the earth, man. It opened it up. It opened his mouth up and swallowed them, right? And they fell down. Read.
And their houses and all the men that appertain unto Korah and all their goods.
Everything that belonged to them, man. Right? Men, women, and children included. Right? Because in verse 26, read verse 26.
Verse 26. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
Now go read 27. It said, separate from them completely. Read.
So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah Dathan and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children.
You see, their wives, their sons, and their little children, man. Right? They was all with them. So everything that went with them got swallowed up, man. The children and the wives included, man. You have to watch your mouth for your family's sake. Not only for your own good, but for your family's good. You got a precept?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Go to verse 32.
Verse 32. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses,
Right.
and all the men that appertain unto Korah, and all their goods.
And all the men that appertain unto Korah, man. All of those people, their families and all their goods fell down with them. Everything went. Right? Keep reading.
They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
Now, Salaki, it said they and everything alive went with them, man. Right? Them, Granny had to go. Right? The sons, daughters, man. Right? Wives. The damn dog had to go too. He got swallowed up. Right? Read.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us up also.
Right? Keep reading.
And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
So it wasn't even the end. Right? The Lord came and burnt them up, man. Don't try to flee from the Lord now, man. You should have been humble in the way that you approached Moses, man. Watch your mouth, man. Right? Read that one more time.
And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
See, and their incense was not accepted by the Most High God, man. Their offering was not offered, or it was not what's the word? It wasn't pleasing to the Most High God, man. So you have to watch your mouth. Right? Get Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 6. You got to keep a tight seal on your mouth. Right? Because sometimes Israel talk real bad. Right? And a lot of times to each other, man. But we all that we got in a world that's literally against us. Do not be talking slick to each other, because that puts you in a detriment, man. It really brings death upon you. These are accounts, right? Read that.
This is Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 6. A fool's lips enter into contention,
right?
And his mouth calls for strokes.
It calls for strokes, man. The things that you say can get you beat up or killed. We see it in the world all the time. Somebody put that wrong tweet out. Hey, now it's hitters at your door, man. Right? And you know Jake can't shoot, so Granny got hit. Your mouth caused her to be put to death, man. Watch your mouth. We seeing it up in the scriptures. Right? Korah and them gathering men. They talking crazy to Moses, and by default to the Most High God who sent him. Right? And it calls for sore strokes. They fell into a damn hole and got burnt alive. They got cooked. All right? Watch your mouth. Read that again.
A fool's lips enter into contention.
And a fool's lips enter into contention. Right? That's foolish lips. Korah and them was very foolish. You gonna speak like that to the Most High God? To Moses, the one that saved you out of there? And when he said that we'll see tomorrow who the Most High God chooses, hey, they didn't even flinch. When the apparition showed, right? When the when when the glory of the Lord appeared over the congregation, they probably still didn't flinch. They thought it was for their favor, not knowing it was unto their destruction. That can very well happen, right? We have to watch our mouths, because you may think that the glory of the Lord appears over you, that sky crack, and it's not for you, it's for your destruction. Watch your mouth. We don't want to be caught up in that flame as Korah and them did, right? Read that one more time.
A fool's lips enter into contention,
Right?
and his mouth called for strokes.
And it called for strokes from the Most High God. We want to avoid that at all costs, right? But instead, your mouth should be like this, right? Get Psalms chapter 141 and verse 2. Psalms 141 and verse 2. We have to watch our mouths, man, right? If there's a matter, see, and that's what people do. When things don't go their way, they start talking slick. Man, I don't know, man. The elders, man, I'm not feeling what they did, man. Like, stop it. Accept your rebuke, right? Accept your placement and sit down and zip your mouth, man. Read that.
This is Psalms chapter 141 and verse number 2.
Right?
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense.
Read that again.
Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense.
Let your prayers and let the words of your mouth be a sweet savor unto the Most High God. Let it be pleasing to the Most High God in all things that you say. Read.
And the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
See, and your actions need to follow after your words, man. Right? Your actions need to follow after the words that you say. Right? We read until 4.
Set a watch, O Lord, before my mouth. Keep the door of my lips.
He said, what?
Keep the door of my lips.
Keep wisdom in my mouth, Lord. Set a watch on my mouth. Right? There's a time to say things and a time not to say things. Right? But keep a latch on my lips, basically. Right? Keep reading.
Incline not my heart to any evil thing.
See? Because out of the heart speaketh the mouth, man. Right? Read that again.
Incline not my heart to any evil thing.
Incline not my heart to any evil thing. If your heart is set on evil things, you will speak evil words. And you will be found out, although you're trying to fake the funk for a little bit. It's not going to be like that all the time. Right? You're not going to be able to fake the funk as much as you want it to. Right? Keep reading.
To practice wicked works with men that work iniquity.
Eventually, if you're wicked, you're going to practice evil works. We see it all the time. You ain't the first one that did this. You're not the last one that's going to do it. All right? Be sincere up in this word. Keep your mouth closed if you cannot say anything good. Some people just can't help but say nothing. Let's say something negative, man. Right? Or say something deceitful, man. Right? Try to help yourself for your life's sake. And if you don't care about your life, think about your family's sake. If you don't care about your family, I don't know what to tell you. Keep the doors of your mouth closed. Read.
And let me not eat of their dainties.
And don't eat of the wicked things of the world. Because then your heart is going to utter it. Your mouth is going to utter it. Your mind is going to be set on it. Right? We have to practice speaking good to each other. Mainly the scriptures. Speak the scriptures if you can't speak anything else, man. Right? Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 15. 15 and verse 33.
1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Read that again.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Evil communication, it makes you look real bad. All right, it corrupts your intention sometimes. Right? If you're not speaking according to the oracles of the Most High God, then you're not speaking good things, man. Right? If you're speaking out of your own belly, you corrupt the good manners that come from the scriptures. Keep the Most High God's words in your mouth at all times. Read that again.
Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
They do, right? We don't want to have corrupt communication, man. Right? It's more than that.
Nah.
Come on. Go to Ephesians chapter 4. Right? We're outside every weekend. And every weekend somebody is talking crazy. Either to us or the Most High. Really both. All the time. Right? And they're going to end up paying for that. And we try to warn them, hold that, right? Get the book of Ezekiel, right? Chapter 3 and verse 17.
It's Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse number 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word at my mouth and give them warning from me.
We're giving warning to them because they don't know any better for real. Some of them do. Some done gathered a little bit of knowledge and know wherein they should speak from. Right? And yet they still act crazy. But we give them warning, like, brother, you got to watch your mouth, man. Right? These is men of the Lord up here. Right? But they get puffed up in their pride and they feel like they can say anything that they want to. It's like that all the time. Just about every Sabbath, man. Right? Keep reading.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die,
Right?
and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked.
We have to warn you that the Lord said that you will surely die. You can die from the words of your own mouth. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. We have to be careful of what we say. Do you think that Rachel knew that she would actually die? No, she was being over dramatic, all up in her damn feelings. And women got, hey, sisters, y'all got that habit too. When you get all mad and irate, right, you start saying things that you really don't mean, but you do mean it in that moment because you're speaking those evil things out of your heart, out of your mind. You've been thinking about that. You've been wanting to say that for a minute, man. And there's some brothers that got that effeminate trait, man. Watch your mouth. Rachel did not know that she would actually die like that because of the words of her mouth. Korah didn't know that that would cause him to die. Right? And the 250 men, right, that was with him, Dathan and Abiram, right? They didn't know that it would cause them to die for the things that he was saying, for the things that they was agreeing with. You have to watch your mouth. And for the people that's around, those people with those types of mouths, you kind of got to separate from them. What happened at camp, man? Right? On O-Block, right? I'm telling the sister to cover up. And she said, the devil is a lie. I'm going through menopause and all this, man. I said, man, see, if you don't do it, then the Lord going to put many paws on you. She said, all right, I got a gun. You got a gun for God? You got a gun for the Most High? And then the whole parking lot went dark instantly. All the lights went off. And we looking like she better repent, or that car gonna be flat that she getting into, man. Then comes around her mom, and her mom is listening and agreeing with us, right? And then her daughter is like, "Hey, mom," right? And we like, "Oh, that's your daughter? Well, your daughter says she got a gun for God. You might want to walk to wherever you going to. Don't get in that car with her." The Lord will very well put you to death for the things that you utter out of your mouth. Be careful and watch your mouth. Right? There's more.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity.
If we don't attempt to save your life, you will die. If we don't give this message to watch your mouth, you can die. Right? If we don't bring this message forward, you can surely die. But keep reading.
But his blood will I require at thine hand.
And that's why we're doing it. We don't want that blood on our hands. Right? Keep reading.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness.
See, and that's what happened at camp, man. Right? She didn't even want to turn from her wickedness. Right? And she's getting the words of the Most High God given to her, but she pulled away the shoulder. Now, when that semi-truck come, right, just to smash that one car, and you pray to the Lord, your prayer is going to be an abomination because you pulled away the shoulder. You turned the ear away from hearing the law of the Lord. Now your prayers are a filthy and disgusting thing to the Most High God. Right? Keep reading.
Nor from his wicked ways.
Right?
He shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
Because my hands are clean. I done did my job. I tried. I tried to get you to repent. You flicked us off, man. And by default, you flicked the Most High God off. They will surely die, but the blood is off of our hands. Go to chapter 2 and verse 7.
This is Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse number 7.
Right.
And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
A lot of times they be like, man, we don't want to hear that stuff, man. That's what they say to us. Right? But we should tell them whether they hear or forbear. If not, then the blood might just still be on our hands, man. Right? Keep reading.
Or whether, for they are most rebellious.
For they are what?
For they are most rebellious.
Because they're most rebellious. They're rebellious people. The Lord knows his people. You think the Lord didn't know that Korah was going to act in this manner? Did it make him any less angry that he knew anyway? No. Because it's like, how dare you? We trying to save your life. Moses just saved your life, and now you want to complain? You want to murmur against him and Aaron and against the Most High God in general? The Most High God was ready to wipe everything out. If it wasn't for the plea of the rest of the congregation that was not a part of those 250 men, then the Lord would have literally killed them all. Because in Numbers chapter 16 and verse 22, it says, and they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and wilt thou be wroth with all the congregation? He was kind of mad at all of us, man. Why? Because we're traveling together, and you got courage to speak boldly against the Most High God like that. Travel not with a bold fellow, says Sirach, right? Or he's going to become grievous unto you. We have to be careful in the words that we speak, whether it's to a brother or to a sister, right? Or your family members, right? The Most High God is listening to all those conversations, right? What was the precept you were told?
You went in Ephesians chapter 4.
Hold that and get Micah chapter 3 and verse 16. Micah chapter 3 and verse 16. All of our conversation is being recorded and written down. Right? That's why we got to make sure that we're on point as best as we can. Or it could be a detriment to us. Read that.
This Micah, you said 3 and what?
16.
There's no Micah 3 and 16.
Malachi, Salakia. Malachi chapter 3 and verse 16. Right? We got to keep gates on our lips, right? People up in the world, they have this thing where they think it's cute to not have no filter. You better have a filter, man. Right? Or you're going to offend the Most High God. Right? Everything that you think does not have to come out of your mouth. Read that.
This is Malachi chapter 3 and verse 16. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another,
Right?
and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And the book of remembrance was written before him.
So the Lord hears our conversation. He hears everybody's conversation, but he hearkens for real to the righteous men. Read that from the top again.
Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another.
The people who fear the Lord, we're going to speak often one to another, right? More than likely about these precepts, right? Read.
And the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him,
right,
for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name.
But see, us that fear the Lord, we're always thinking on the Lord's name. So our conversation is always seasoned with his oracles, man. Right? There's more than that.
And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts.
It says, those that fear the Lord, that speak upon his name, whose conversation he writes down in the book of remembrance, they shall be mine. But the people that don't do that, who do all sorts of folly and wickedness, right? Their conversation, hey, that don't belong to the Lord. They are not his, man. Read.
In that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him.
See, do you see how important it is to speak with what the Most High God gave us? Give me the book of 1 Peter, chapter 4 and verse 11. 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 11.
It's 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse number 11. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
Read that again.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of God.
You have to speak as the oracles of the Most High God. Always keep his words up in your mouth. It'll never fail. It will never fail. Always speak upon the name of the Most High God. It will never fail. Right? Keep reading.
If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which God giveth.
Minister with the ability that the Most High God gave. He gave us the way that we ought to minister. Right up in the scriptures, man. Read.
That God in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
See that? Give praise to the Most High God in every chance you get, man. Right? You'll hear brothers, man. Hey, man, I just got this new car, man, by Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. You know, giving praise to the Most High God and his Father. I mean, the Most High God, you know, and his Son. You know? Like, man, I just got this new house, man. You know, things is going good. I just got a raise. Right? By Shema Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Right? Is more on that?
No.
God, give me the book of Job, chapter 1. And go to the last verse. Or third to last verse, rather. Because Job caught hell. Right? He caught all hell. And he still reverenced the Most High. And the Most High kind of hit Satan with the nah. Now you see what I'm talking about? That's my servant. Right? That's my boy right there. Right? He'll remember those conversations that you had, even to yourself. You got to train your mind to constantly give glory to the Most High God. Even when things are down bad. Right? Hey, man, HOI Illinois been catching it, man. The Lord like, yeah, them Negroes, man, they up in there Shalom bombing it. Right? They over here opening up a school. Oh, yeah, let's get their cars, man. That's how these devils is planning. That's how these spirits is planning. To take you out of the spirit. You know? Battery die on the car. Contemplating whether we're going to push it from 79th and Halsted to 79th and Ellis. You know what I'm saying? And we sitting there like, yo, on the upside, the Lord is dealing with us, all right? And then we get to laughing, man. Because whatever is put on you, take cheerfully. Don't go to hell off and start cursing the Most High God like Job's wife told him to do. Man, when she told him to do that, he like, man, you starting to sound like a foolish woman. And indeed, man, indeed she was. Watch your mouth, Israel. Is critical. Every word that you say is critical. Right? Read that.
This is Job chapter 1 and verse number 20. Then Job arose and rang his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshiped.
Now, for y'all that don't know the story, Job caught hell back to back to back to back. To back to back to back. All right? Man, his damn business is collapsing. His son's dying. Right? Getting sick and all hell breaking loose up in his life, man. Right? But at the end of the day, man, he shaved his head, man. He rent his mantle. Right? He fell upon his face, man. And what?
And worship.
And what?
And worship.
You ought to do the same thing. Not curse the Most High God. Not to be like, man, why is this happening to me? No. You ought to give it up to the Most High God. He worshiped. Keep reading.
And said, naked came I out of my mother's womb,
right?
And naked shall I return thither.
That's damn right, Joe. All right? The things of the flesh don't mean nothing. Give it up to the Most High God. Keep reading.
The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of Yahweh.
He said what?
Blessed be the name of Yahweh.
No, curse the name.
Blessed be the name of Yahweh.
He still gave it up, gave reverence to the Most High God. Right? He kept blessing the name of the Most High. As we read to do up in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Right? Keep reading.
In all this, Job sinned not.
In all this what?
In all this, Job sinned not.
Job didn't sin when he was giving reverence to the Most High. Right? But you fall down and have the woe is me spirit, hey, that might be sin unto the Most High God because you don't have faith in him. Watch your mouth. Job had a real good clamp on his mouth for the most part. You know, he'll question a few things, right? But in all this, he sinned not. Job was a man perfect in all his ways, right? He eschewed evil, right? Keep reading.
Nor charged God foolishly.
You see, he didn't charge the Most High God foolishly. Keep reading on that.
Chapter 2. Again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord,
right?
And Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord.
Satan came again. This is the second time he came. Right? I believe verse 8 was the first time. Right? And now in chapter 2, this is the second time. Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it.
Keep reading.
And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil? And still he holdeth fast his integrity.
Read that again.
And still he holdeth fast his integrity.
You done did all that, and still he holds fast his integrity. The Lord over there flexing. Have you considered my servant Job? That's my boy. Right? A man upright in his way, that escheweth evil, that still didn't fold when you put that pressure on him. You ought to want to be like Job. Take notes from Job. Job went through all hell. Did he murmur against the Most High God? No. He fell on his face and he worshiped. Watch your mouth. Do not get to sulking and crying when things get bad, man. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, go to Ephesians. Or you had a precept?
Okay. All right. On that point, right? Don't make it strange, right? Don't think it's a strange thing when you're going through trials and tribulations, right? Right. This is First Peter chapter 4 and verse number 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange things happen unto you. So don't think it's a strange thing when things come upon you like trials and tribulations, right? All types of hardships, right, come in your life. Your car break down, you lose your house, right? Your children die, right? These are trials and tribulations that our people got to go through to strengthen you up in these last days, man. Right? But rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Christ's suffering, right? You're part of Yahushua's suffering, man. Right now, you're going through the same things Yahushua went through, right? But you have to rejoice, man, because you have to understand the end goal is you getting the kingdom, right? Everything goes back to how you're gonna apply your actions. Are you just gonna soap and just cry about everything? Right? Are you gonna just put your head down? Going through your trials and tribulations, are you just gonna hop out of the truth now? Go back into the world? You gonna say it's too hard? The Most High said to rejoice. You have to rejoice in your trials and tribulations. Right? I believe it's Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. Right? Right, let's pull that real quick. All right. This Sirach chapter 2 and verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. If you come to serve Yahweh Shem Shai, you have to prepare yourself for trials and tribulations and temptations, man. Right? So when those trials and tribulations come upon you, you're able to take it cheerfully because you understand at that point, and the Most High God is dealing with you in a way. But it's all applied by your actions. How are you going to deal with it? Now that comes with much prayer and fasting.
Right.
You got to pray and you got to fast very much, right? Going through these trials and tribulations. Right. So back on First Peter chapter 4 and verse number 13, but rejoice in as much as ye are partakers of Christ's suffering, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. You're going to see the glory of Yahushua. You're going to be amazed. You're going to be excited. You're going to be joyful to see it, because Lord willing, you'll be in your glorified body as well, because you went through the same suffering that Yahushua did. Right? So going through all these trials and tribulations, you have to take it joyfully. The same thing that Job did, man. He worshiped the Most High God going through his trials and tribulations. The things that Job went through, most of our people would just jump right out of the truth, man. Y'all be out of the truth by now. Seeing all hell break loose. You ain't got no car no more, right? You ain't got no job, right?
Don't got no family.
You ain't got no family no more, right? Your cattle is gone. You ain't got no more food. And now you sleeping on the concrete, now. Now you thinking to yourself, is the Most High really dealing with you and just setting you up for destruction? You have to be in the mindset of, this is the Most High God dealing with me, and don't make it strange. Don't think that you're not supposed to go through. Hard to keep the command in the midst of all wickedness, right? It's gonna feel kind of hard, man, because we're still in a wicked society, because we're in this fleshly bodies. A just man falls 7 times, but he gets right back up, man. He continues to push forward. And that's what Job did, man, by worshiping the Most High God. And we got to walk in that same like manner. Yeah.
Con, man. Con.
I got another precept.
Con.
It would be James to the second verse.
Wait, Salaki, say that again, sis.
James chapter
James,
1.
the first chapter, James 1:2.
Kind
First chapter, verse 2.
This is James chapter 1 and verse 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptation.
right? So we're supposed to count it as all joy, right? We're supposed to count it. Like that's how you know that the Lord is dealing with you. Keep reading.
Knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
It works what?
Worketh patience.
And that's what Job kind of Job was, his patience was put to the test.
How Job was on nothing. Because he knew the Most High God could give him anything, man, as long as he continues to worship him.
Chapter 4 and verse 29.
This is Ephesians chapter 4 and verse number 2. Edifying.
Right. So Job taught us that when the going gets tough, don't curse the Most High God. Reverence him. He didn't let no question right? But you better keep a tight seat that go by the example of you. You want to evil communication, right, is a grievance to the Holy Spirit, man. Right? If, like in the days of antiquity, Deuteronomy say, man, if there's any man fearful, man, leave. I believe that was Deuteronomy, right? We can't evil communication. That's contagious, right? Through the words of your mouth, you can put a spirit in the air that makes everybody afraid, right? Keep reading.
Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice.
Put all that away from you, right? Take away all evil sayings, right? All strife, right? All envy, envious speaking. Put it all far away from you. That can cause you to fall.
On one to another, even as God.
We got to have that same. What verse was that? We got to go ahead.
Can I get Acts 5:40-42?
Bring that up. You got to constantly have the words of the Lord up in your mouth. And
be in subjection to your own husbands,
right?
that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
So your conversation as a sister, right, could put another sister that may not be married, right, in a good place, man. Even if she is married, it puts her in a good spot because now she's going by your example on what it is to be a comely and delicate daughter of Zion, how to be a daughter of Sarah. Your words matter the most to the kids, right? As the wife, right? Being up in the household with them majority of the time, right? Why is that, right? Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 2. Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 2. Because y'all are the teacher to the younger women. And not only to the younger women, but to the children in general, right? So we got to watch what we say, especially in front of kids. You wonder why you getting the call from your son and your daughter's teachers saying that he done cussed her out. Is because they done learned that from the home. You're not careful with your words around your children. Read that.
This is Sirach chapter 3 and verse 2. For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children,
right,
and hath confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
Right. So a lot of what the child knows is from the mother. It's taught from the son to the mother, and then it's given from the mother to the children, mainly. Right? That's why you have to keep a sure watch over your mouth. As a brother, right? As a friend, as a sister, right? As a mother, as a father, as all those things, you have to keep a sure watch over your mouth so that you could be a good example. Right? Give me the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, and verse 19.
This is Ephesians chapter 5, and verse number 19. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord.
Because the words of the Lord is a sweet song. It's a sweet song to everybody. They're just and they're true. Did it stop? So yeah. All right. Right? Because the words of the Lord is just and true. Right? We have to make sure that our mouth is intact. Right? All of those are sweet songs to the Most High God. When you speak his words, it's like a sweet savor up in the air. That's why David said up in Psalms chapter 144, verse 2 on down, right? Let my prayer be a incense unto you, and the work of my hands as the lifting of my hands as a sacrifice to you. Your words should match your actions. If you claim to be in the truth, speak like you up in the truth, man. Speak with the oracles of God. Right? You can't be overtaken by much folly. Speak as the oracles of God. Right? Study them precepts that you can actually recite them. You should always have the wisdom of the Most High God in your mouth. Right? Keep reading. That was verse 19.
Okay.
Go to verse 21.
Verse 21, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God.
See, you're supposed to submit yourself one to another, right? Be in each other's favor. Be in honor, preferring one another. Like Romans chapter 12 and verse 10 says, right? That comes with having speech that professes godliness, man. Right? Now the Christians will hop on there like, that's right. But you just said damn not too long ago. That's not what that's talking about. Right? It's talking about as speaking as the oracles of the Most High God. Right? Keeping his law, statutes, and commandments not only in your mouth, right, but in your actions also. Hold that and give me the book of Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. And I believe this to be a precept to Psalm chapter 144 and verse 2 on down. Right? Read that.
It's Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Let my prayer be an incense to the Most High. Don't let the book of the law depart out of your mouth. Don't let your words be without the words of the Most High God. The words of these scriptures. Read.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night,
right,
that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein.
Let the lifting of my hands be a sacrifice unto thee. Do those things. Read.
For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
If thou were to observe to do all the commandments and statutes that I show you this day, then all these blessings shall overcome thee and overtake thee. These blessings shall be upon thee above all the nations of the earth, man. Right? Like Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1, which I roughly paraphrase. Right? Keep reading.
Have not I commanded thee?
Right?
Be strong and of good courage.
See, being strong and of good courage comes from doing these law, statutes, and commandments. You got to be strong mentally. That's what comes of doing these law, statutes, and commandments. It comes mental fortitude, man. Right? Not much can bother you. Keep reading.
Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest.
And those are things that Job knew. Job knew that. And that's why he did not curse the Most High God's name, but rather he fell on his face and worshiped, saying, naked I came in and naked I'll go out. The Lord taketh away and he'll give back, man. Right? Go back to Ephesians chapter 5 and go to verse 26.
It's Ephesians chapter 5 and verse number 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
See, and that's why your words have to be of the Most High. Because you can wash somebody with the words of the Most High. Read that again.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
See, if your words, right, are constantly of the Most High, then your words out of your mouth and out of your belly, right, which is your bowels, your words, your thoughts, is gonna come out a flowing of a river of water, right? A river of water of the word, man. And you will be able to heal people and wash them with the cleansing of the word. You got to always keep the words of the Most High God up in your mouth. If not, then you speaking of your own belly. You leaning on your own understanding, right? You falling apart because you 1 month behind on the rent. Oh Lord, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, don't worry about that, man. Give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, because He's dealing with you in that instance, right? And we almost about to wrap up, but not quite. Give me the book of Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 9. Sirach, chapter 28 and verse 9.
This Sirach, chapter 28 and verse number 9.
We're going to keep reading down.
A sinful man disquitteth friends, and maketh debate among them that be at peace.
And maketh what?
And maketh debate among them that be at peace.
If you don't watch your mouth, you can make debate among those that are at peace, man. Right? You can start problems between friends. Right? And we don't want to start problems between friends. Right? Sirach chapter 6 and verse 1 says, instead of a friend, become not an enemy. Right? For thereby thou shalt inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that hath a double tongue. Right? Watch your mouth. That can cause you to have a bad name. And don't nobody want a bad name up in Israel, man. Right? Having a bad name up in Israel for some have caused some to fall out of the truth, man. Hope that it get Proverbs. I believe. Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 1. God.
Is there one we can get verse 17 and 18 on that Sirach 28?
God, we're going to read all the way down on Sirach 28.
Okay.
God.
Got it.
I am the part. Bring that up.
22 and verse 1.
22 and verse 1.
This is Proverbs chapter 22 and verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
Read that again.
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
A good name is better than having gold and silver. You always want to have a good name, man. Right? Like on the real, man. Hey, shoot. Let's take for example, say good credit. Everybody want good credit. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of walk up in a car lot. You don't even gotta show a pay stub. You got excellent credit. Right? You just signed off and you dip with the car. A good name is better than what?
A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches.
Right?
And loving favor rather than silver and gold.
See, and loving favor rather than silver and gold. You want to keep a good name. Right? The people who have good names often watch real close to their lips. Right? They got a sure door on their lips, man. A strong door on their lips. They watch what they say. There's more on that?
No.
All right, go right back to Sirach.
The Sirach chapter 28 and verse. So like, yeah. Verse
9.
In verse number 9. A sinful man disquitteth friends and maketh debate among them that be at peace.
Right.
As the manner of the fire is, so it burneth. And as a man's strength is, so is his wrath.
It says, so is his what?
So is his wrath.
So basically, man, when a person has power, man, they kind of go according to what their power is. Some people become power stricken, man. We see that all the time up in the world, man. Somebody get a little bit of money, they think they better than somebody up in the hood. Now they watch it, they kind of talking crazy, man. Right? You don't want to be that person. Keep reading.
And according to his riches, his anger rises. Right? And the stronger they are which contend, the more they will be inflamed.
See, the stronger you are, the more you will be inflamed, man. Right? Because you feel as though that you got everything covered. Hey, I could go to jail. I could bail myself out. Right? Don't be that person. Kind of watch your mouth. Be humble and be meek. Right? Like, take for example, Joseph, man. Joseph was second in command over all of Egypt, man. But still a humble brother. To the point of him going to jail. And because he kept favor of men, they got him out. Right? So he was careful with his words as well. Meek and humble. Although he had status. You ought to be the same. Read.
And hasty contention kindleth a fire. And in hasty fighting sheddeth blood.
See, if you hasty with your words, right, it could cause you to die. Or it could be contention, man. It could shed blood. Or it could start something. Don't be that person. Right? Keep reading.
If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched.
It said, read that again.
If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou shalt spit upon it, it shall be quenched.
If you egging it on, it's gonna continue to burn. But if you calm with your words, you can kind of put out that fire, man. Right? That's what it is. If you spit on it, man, let the washing of the water of the word be inside you, so that therefore you can put out that fire of an angry man. Hold that. Get the book of Sirach chapter 8, right, and verse 3.
Sirach chapter 8 and verse number 3. Strive not with the man that is full of tongue.
Read that again.
Strive not with the man that is full of tongue.
You know, we all got that one friend whose mouth is real bad. Strive not with that person. Strive not with a man that is full of tongue. Keep reading.
And heap not wood upon his fire.
And don't be egging him on when you know he get like that. Right? Because you know how to kind of push somebody buttons, man. You know what to say. And you can make it sound like it's of a good heart, but really you know what you're doing. You know what things kind of irritate them when they like that. Right? You can make it sound as innocent as you want to, but it's not. You know what you're doing. Heap not wood upon his fire. Don't be egging it on. Go right back to that one verse of the Sirach.
This is Sirach chapter 28 in verse number 12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched.
Right? You can quench a fire, the anger of a man, right? By actually watching your mouth, man. Right? Oh, give me the book of Sirach chapter 20 and verse 20. Right? Because you'll think that it's the right time to say something, but it's really not, and it'll make you be a fool. Right? Read that.
This is Sirach chapter 20 and verse 20. A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth.
Now that can be that can be confusing to some people. If it's a wise sentence, how is he a fool? Right? This is how it makes them a fool. Read.
For he will not speak it in due season.
Read that again.
For he will not speak it in due season.
So if somebody up in the family had a family member that passed away, right? You can't just tell them, hey, you know, that's judgment from the Most High God right now. That's somebody's family member. You tell them that later. You become a fool. Like, you talking about somebody's family that they love and they care about. Right? You know that judgment is true. Right? It's true. It could very well be true. But comfort that person first and ease into it a little bit. Right? You don't got to be super brutal all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's somebody's moms that just passed away, man. And you saying that that's judgment? Like, don't say it right then. Right? They just now telling you. Ease into it. Right? Give him comfort so that he can feel a certain type of way. Then you can ease it in and kind of like at some sort of type of time. Sometimes it's not the season for it. Read that one more time.
A wise sentence shall be rejected when it cometh out of a fool's mouth.
Right?
For he will not speak it in due season.
Because you didn't speak it in due season, you heapeth wood upon his fire, man. He passionate about that person. Right? Watch your mouth, or it can be cause for many sore strokes, man. Right? That's Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 6, man. Sore stripes. Right? Go right back to, yeah.
This is Sirach chapter 28 and verse number 13.
Right?
Well, I'm going to read 12.
Verse
number 12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn if thou spit upon it. Salakia. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn. If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched. And both these come out of thy mouth.
Water and fire come out of your mouth, man. Life and death comes out of your tongue, man. Right? You got to choose which one you gonna use, man. Be that well that springing water, man. That cooling water. Right? Shoot, that's something that I had to work on. Shoot, because I used to say whatever I thought, man. You know? Like, it gets like that sometimes. Kind of.
Can we get that Colossians 4 and 6 to go with, to talk about how there's a time to say things?
Come on. Colossians chapter 4 and verse 6.
This is Colossians chapter 4 and verse number 6. Let your speech be always with grace, seasoned with salt,
Right.
that ye may know how ye ought to answer every man.
See? You got to know a time and a place. Right? How to answer every man. Right? It may not be the right season or the right time for one man as it is for another. One person can take it, another person may not be able to take that. You could cause them to do bodily harm to themselves, man. Lord forbid. But those are the things, both of those, fire and water, comes out of your mouth. You have to watch your mouth. Right? There's more on that?
Wow.
There you go. Yeah, let's go back to Sirach 28.
It's Sirach chapter 28,
Verse 13.
verse 13. Curse the whisperer in double tongue.
See, it said, curse the whisperer and double tongue. Don't be back and forth in the things that you say, man. Right? Somebody got to go on mute. Right? Keep reading.
For such have destroyed many that were at peace.
Because if you run it back and forth, telling one person one thing and another person another thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, that can cause two friends to really go at it, man. That's evil. That's wicked, man. You had a brother at camp on Friday, while the brother Nadib teaching, talking about he sneak dissing. Everything you saying is true, but why you sneak dissing? We not sneak dissing. Isaiah 58:1 says, cry aloud and spare not, man. So it's not sneak dissing. We saying it plain upon tables. Sometimes people just don't know what they talking about. Right? Watch your mouth. Right? Keep reading.
A backbiting tongue hath disquieted many.
Read that again.
A backbiting tongue hath disquieted many.
And don't be over there gossiping, man. Then backbiting, talking behind somebody's back. Right? That's evil. That's nasty according to the Most High. Right? You're going to have a bad name for that. And a good name is above riches, man. Right? Keep reading.
And driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities have had it pulled down and overthrown the houses of great men.
Hey, so mere gossip, man, just started whole wars, man. Right? It overthrew households of mighty men. Right? We all know that one girl that be like, well, she get herself in trouble because she got a bad mouth on her. And then when the going gets tough, she say, I'm gonna go get my boyfriend on you. Next thing you know, it's a shootout, man. And now her boyfriend died because she did not have rule over her tongue. Watch your mouth, man. That could put you, your spouse, your children, and your parents in danger, man. You got to be careful the way that you speak, man. Bring it up.
A backbiting tongue hath cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors.
See that? So now it even goes for the women, man. To cast them out. Spreading all sorts of rumors about a sister that's not even true. Right? Causing them to have an ill name within the nation or within the streets, however you want to flip it or put it, man. Lying. Right? And now all her labors is down the drain because you wanted to be wicked, man. Don't be no backbiter. Watch your mouth. Read.
Whoso hearkeneth unto it shall never find rest, and never dwell quietly. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh, but the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones.
See that, man? The stroke of the tongue does a whole lot more damage than the stroke of the whip, man. Hold that and get Proverbs, actually Psalms chapter 64. Psalms chapter 64. Right? The stroke of the tongue is powerful, man. Right? The word of the Lord is sharper than any two-edged sword, man. What makes you think that the words that you speak out of your mouth to another person is not powerful? Read.
This is Psalm chapter 64 and verse number 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Perceive my life, so I can preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
Right.
Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked.
See, people that sneak dissing, man. That's real sneak dissing. All right, over there plotting on you. Right? That's wicked. That's evil. You plotting against your neighbor. Right? Keep reading.
From the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Right?
Who wet their tongue like a sword.
Who what?
Who wet their tongue like a sword.
You kind of wet your tongue like a sword. You talking crazy about a person that you really, you may not even know them. Right? You talking crazy about a person that you know, but you kind of jealous of. You talking crazy about a person because you heard a word, man. Continuing a damn rumor. Stop that. Keep reading.
And bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
You see that, man? Bitter words, man. It's like arrows, man. Your tongue is like a sword. Your tongue is the biggest weapon on you, man. Right? It's not your fists, your elbows, your knees, your feet. It's really your tongue. Speech has put many to death, man. Keep reading.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect.
Right.
Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
The people, there's a person that talks and they don't even care about what's coming out of their mouth. They just say it because they're angry, man. Going the hell off, man. Right? So now they kind of got to bear those consequences for the words that they say. Right? Keep reading.
They encourage themselves in an evil matter.
And people around them is kind of laughing at the things that they saying, egging it on, heaping wood upon that fire. Right? They encourage themselves in an evil matter, man. Read.
They commune of lame snares privily. They say, who shall see them? See,
and they setting traps with their words, and they think nobody gonna see that that's a damn lie that they telling, that they actually plotting. Read.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Right. Hey, some people is just looking for you to slip up so that they can have something to talk about. You got to be careful of those people too. Right? Read that one more time.
They search out iniquities.
Right.
They accomplish a diligent search.
See, and they accomplish a diligent search. They seek out iniquity, man. They waiting for you to slip up so that they can put something up in your ear, man. Right? Keep reading.
Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Right?
But God shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded.
Right?
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Read that again.
So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
That's when that get back gets back. That's when that get back comes right back towards them, because the word of the Lord is sharp and powerful than any two-edged sword, man. Right? Read that one more time.
So they shall make them their own tongue to fall upon themselves.
Their own tongue is gonna fall upon themselves, man. Right? It's gonna be used as a sword against themselves. They're gonna fall on their own sword. Right? They're gonna kind of double back on the things that they just said, man. Right? There's more on that.
All that see them shall flee away.
Right? And people who see that they over there lying, they gonna say, hey, I don't want nothing to do about that. Right? I don't want nothing to do to that. With that, rather. Right? Their name is gonna be tainted. They're not gonna have a good name anymore. Cause now we done figured you out, man. You a liar. And you a backbiter. And you bogus for that, man. Right? Keep reading.
And all men shall fear and shall declare the work of the Lord, of God, for they shall wisely consider of his doing.
See, and they're going to wisely consider of the Most High God's doing, because the Lord gets that payback, right? You see that one person that was talking about everything, and now people was talking about everyone, right, in a wicked manner. Man had a backbiting tongue, had a double tongue, and now guess what? Right now they see how much of a demon that they really are. Right? Let's go back to Sirach chapter 28.
Sirach chapter 28 and verse number 15. A backbiting tongue have cast out virtuous women and deprived them of their labors.
Right? So a backbiting tongue, right, have cast out many virtuous women. You could talk about the history of Susanna, man. Had all sorts of accusations against her, and she was a righteous sister. Right? A beautiful righteous sister. Right? But all of that was going to get her killed, man. Right? Keep reading.
Whoso hearkeneth unto it shall never find rest and never dwell quietly.
See? Because they always got something to talk about. They become busybodies. Keep reading.
The stroke of the whip marketh marks in the flesh,
right?
But the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones.
Read.
Many have fallen by the edge of the sword,
right?
But not so many as have fallen by the tongue.
See, a lot of people then got killed in war, but more people than that then died because of the workings of the tongue, of an evil tongue, man, or of a tongue in general. Your tongue is a weapon, right? Use it wisely. It's not a toy, right? Keep reading.
Well is he that defendeth from it, and have not passed through the venom thereof.
Because a wicked word against you is venom unto you, right? Blessed is he who derives from it, man, who defended against it, who had that secret formula against that venom, man, that medicine. Read. Well is he that is defended from it, and have not passed through the venom thereof, who have not drawn the yoke thereof, nor have been bound in her bands. So basically, an evil word can have you kind of locked up, man. It's a yoke to you, right? It feel like it's controlling you, man. It feel like you stuck, right? And that person who spreads that rumor and is backbiting knows that, right? Because people is gonna hearken into it. People gonna listen, right? But blessed is he that defendeth against it, man. Right? That have not been a slave under somebody else's words. Right? Keep reading. For the yoke thereof is a yoke of iron, and the bands thereof are bands of brass. Because those words are strong. Right? They strong chains. Keep reading. The death thereof is an evil death. The grave were better than it. See? And that's stress, man. That'll real life stress you out. Right? The stress of somebody else spreading a rumor and having an evil tongue against you is really is grievous. And people, and it's sad to say, man, people done committed all sorts of suicide because of an evil word, man, because of a bully at school. Like, we all know something, man. It's sad to say, but we do. Right? The grave is better than an evil tongue against you. Read that precept again. The death thereof is an evil death. Right. The grave were better than it. Read. It shall not have rule over them that fear God. See, an evil word, we already know. right? According to Matthew chapter 5. Pull that. Matthew chapter 5 and I believe verse 10. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10.
This is Matthew chapter 5 and verse number 10. And it reads, Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely.
Right? We already got that up in our mind. People over there talking crazy on your name, right? But Christ said, blessed are they that really get through that, man. Blessed are you when that happens to you. Keep reading.
For my sake.
For whose sake?
For my sake.
For his sake, man. When we come into the truth, right, we get told that we're in a cult, right? Paul had to go through the same thing. He said, for the way which is called heresy, so I worship my Father, right? I worship the Lord through the ways of Moses and the prophets, man. Roughly paraphrasing, right? So we're going to get called all sorts of names, right? For Yahweh's sake. But keep reading.
Rejoice and be exceedingly glad,
right?
For great is your reward in heaven.
You got a greater reward for that in heaven. Read.
For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
So on the real, right? Your tongue is a way to persecute somebody, man. If you have a wicked tongue, right, you may be very well persecuting one of the righteous, man. You got to think about that. You have to really, really think about that. That's why it's important to watch your mouth. Right? Let's go right back to Sirach chapter 28.
Sirach chapter 28 in verse number 22. It shall not have rule over them that fear God.
That's why it don't have no rule over us, because we know that our reward is great for all the persecuting that people do with their mouth towards us for the Most High God's sake and for his son's name's sake. Right, read.
Neither shall they be burned with the flame thereof.
Right.
Such as forsake the Lord shall fall into it, and it shall burn them.
Because they can't handle that, man. We prepared our souls for temptation. So we know what's coming. And we know that everything that we go through, right, is of the Most High God, and he do it because he loves us to make us stronger. Right? Not so that we could fold, but so that he can make us stronger. Hold that and get 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13. Because it's not made so that we can, like, the Lord didn't allow it to happen for you to fold to it. It's for you to be stronger. Right? So read that.
This 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 13.
Right.
There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
So when somebody is backbiting against you 9 times out of 10, all of us done went through that. So don't fold to the bands thereof and to the yoke thereof. Right? Come amongst your brothers and we'll tell you, right? Come amongst your brothers or your sisters and we'll tell you how to get through that, huh? Keep reading.
But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
So when that happens to you, the Lord knows that you're able to bear it, right? He's not putting it above you. He's not putting it above you, right? It's just something just to make you stronger. Keep reading.
But will, with the temptation, also make a way to escape.
Because there's a way for you to escape. There's a way for you to defend against it, to have that antidote to that venom of that evil tongue. Read.
That ye may be able to bear it.
That ye may what?
That ye may be able to bear it.
Because the Most High does not put more on you than you can bear. Right? Was it more on that?
Wow.
Right? The Most High God don't put on you more than you can bear. Right? So it's not for you to fold under pressure. It's for that pressure to make a diamond out of you, man. That's what it's there for. Right? That's your personal fire. That's something that you got to go through. And the Lord is with you on that. He's with you through those processes and through those temptations. But you got to keep in mind that he's with you. You can't fold under pressure. Right? Keep reading on this.
This Sirach chapter 28 and verse number 23. Such as forsake the Lord shall fall into it, and it shall burn in them, and not be quenched. It shall be set upon them as a lion, and devour them as a leopard.
See, because a word, right, especially the word of the Lord, man, right, it tears asunder, right? It divides the spirit, man. Right? It tears asunder the spirit and the bone marrow, man. Right? It's tough. It's for sure. It's sure. That's what it is, man. Keep reading.
Look that thou hedge thy possession above them thorn above Salakia. Look that thou hedge thy possession about with thorns, and bind up thy silver and gold.
So basically, keep a sure watch around. Read that one more time.
Look that thou hedge
And make sure that your mental fortitude, read,
thy possession about with thorns.
right? Make sure that it's untouchable. Make sure that you're not bothered, right? That's like a gate with barbed wires. Don't let nothing get in your head. My dad used to tell me, don't let nobody take you off your square. Right? That's basically what this is saying. Right? Keep reading.
And bind up thy silver and gold.
Right. And bind up your silver and gold, your understanding. Right? Hold fast to that which is good. Right? Keep reading.
And weigh thy words in a balance.
It said what?
And weigh thy words in a balance.
So make a clear distinction or make an basically weigh your options in the words that you say. Right? Because it could be detrimental to you, or it can justify you in the day of judgment. Read.
And make a door and bar for thy mouth.
And make a what?
And make a door and a bar for thy mouth.
So make sure you have a little bit of a filter, man. Make a bar for your mouth. Know that there's a time to speak and there's a time not to speak. Right? Keep reading.
Beware thou slide not by it.
Right?
Lest thou fall before him that lieth in wait.
See, and make sure that nobody is able to catch you up in your words to kind of catch you slipping. Right? Read that one more time.
Beware thou slide not by it, lest thou fall before them that lieth in wait.
Because there's somebody waiting for you to slip up and say the wrong thing. We see it all the time on Clubhouse. Right? That's why you got brothers like y'all were all, Corey, right? They kind of show you how to be careful with your words, right? And shout out to them, man, right? They're real careful with their words, man. Shower par, right? Brothers is real careful with their words so that nobody can catch them slipping. Those are things you ought to take note to, right? And in closing, we're going to go right back to Sirach 28 and verse 25. Read that again.
The Sirach chapter 28 and verse number 25.
Right?
And weigh thy words in a balance, and make a door and bar for thy mouth.
Watch your mouth, man. Right? Make sure to watch your mouth. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. Right? There's a lot of power in your speech, man. Right? All right. So with that, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. Kwame Yashala.
Come here, sir.
Mighty lesson,
All praise to the Most High.